what I want you to work on is building your brand through authenticity. Now, you see those stars? So, and I've got stars on today. I love stars. My mom told me, she goes, Pumpkin, you are a star. And she bought me this little yellow cowgirl outfit. It was yellow with white stars, a white fringe, and I wore it every day. And my mother passed away many years ago. So every time I wear stars, it kind of makes me feel like that she's with me. And so the stars kind of took on this life of their own. And this morning when I walked in, I saw Jeff. And Jeff is in this star blazer. I'm like, he's not. He's not in that blazer. So I was all excited. So if you think that brand can't be contagious, I would say that you're wrong. So let's keep going and let's get started. So what do you think brand is? When you think of a brand, what do you think of? Do we think of anything? Well, let's take Coldwell Banker. When you think about Coldwell Banker, do you think blue? Most recently, you probably think that star because they changed the logo a few years ago. Do you think trust? Loyalty? Yeah. It's not there anymore. Oh. So historically, these were it says the 5 most recognized brands, but there's only 4 there. This is probably that part in the presentation where I remind you guys I'm a real estate agent, not a speaker. So anyway, let's go with the 4 most recognized brands. And of course, I couldn't leave Coca-Cola out because I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. But the Apple, think about it, they don't even have the name of their company on it. But you would know Apple no matter what. But in 2023, social media profiles have given you the ability to build your own brand. And people do business with people, especially in real estate. So think about it. Mr. Coldwell Banker is not going to the listing appointment. Mr. Coldwell Banker is not showing Bobby and Susie houses. You are. They're falling in love with you. They're building the trust with you. And I would say that your online presence is the most important thing that you have. All of my profile pictures are the same. So whether you go to LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram, you'll see the same photo. I think you should have consistency because I would say your photo is your logo in 2023. Okay, let's keep going. Look, I didn't even know that was coming next and I said it. I'm getting better at the speaking thing. So wherever you choose, oh, Glennda, I don't like that TikTok thing. I'm never going to be on TikTok. You don't need to be on TikTok. I started on Facebook and everybody that I knew was on Facebook. And that gave me momentum. It also gave me confidence because they liked me. And so I love that. If you think about it, whether you like them or not, the Kardashian effect has impacted the way that people look at brands. Think about it. These people have built brands that are synonymous with their social media. Would you be surprised to know that Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, they don't have websites. They have shop sites, shop pages. They're running billion-dollar businesses from social media. That is what has made given everybody the ability to be their own brand and build their own business individually. Now, I could say something a little off color here, and I'll go there a little bit. But literally, Kris Jenner put out a video of her daughter. Whether you like it or not, she knew it was going to be released. She said, I'm going to release it and I'm going to control the narrative. There is no better example that you can take bad news or something horrible and you can control the narrative. You can curate what people think, and that's what they've done. That's what I want you to do with your real estate business. Okay? Now, if you look at the Kardashians, they have over 1 billion followers. What was most interesting to me is that they have 71% of the emails of those 1.2 billion people. Now, you're thinking, Glennda, what do I need the emails for? What if I don't have emails? Email is your most valuable asset when marketing yourself and your brand. Wait 1 second. Sorry about that. Got a little tickle in my throat. The 30-degree swing from 50 to 80 is throwing me a little bit in the temperature. Sorry. Okay, so they have the majority of those email addresses. Why is the email address important? Because you can send your client an email and say, have you looked at your Zestimate lately? How many people do you think look at their Zestimate regularly? A lot. Zillow claims that 78% of people check their Zestimate monthly. How would you like to have the email address of everybody that follows you on social media and be able to give them a real market update? Do you think that they would then think that you are the source of value, not Zillow? Probably. So what they do is they collect their email address and they control what people see. And they own those people. So if there's no TikTok, there's no Instagram, there's no LinkedIn, there's no Facebook, they can get in touch with them. So what do I want you to start with? Tell your story. They don't need to see just listed. They don't need to see just sold. What they want to see is, why did Bobby and Susie buy a house from you? Why did they come to you? Why did they use you? They used you because they trusted you. They used you because they knew that you could find them the perfect house. They used you because they know you from church. They know you from school. They know you from work. Tell that story. People connect with stories. The whole storytelling gives you the ability to control the narrative. So whether you're sending out a postcard, or you're doing a video, or you're even posting a picture on your Instagram, it shouldn't be a picture of 123 Banana Street. It should be a picture of Bobby and Susie. Bobby and Susie in front of 123 Banana Street. Do you think that your audience is going to connect with that more than they're going to connect with a picture of 123 Banana Street that they don't even know where that house is, nor do they care? I want you to tell the story of the house, tell the story of the buyer, tell the story of the seller. It worries me when my slides aren't up there. And now you know what happens? I'm the typical 56-year-old. I push the button until it works. And so what happens is we may actually be at the end of my slide presentation because I have pushed the button. See, that's not, is that the right slide? Is that the next one, really? Oh, okay, it was. Sorry about that. Okay, so tell your story on video. Okay, now pick a platform. Now, I just picked TikTok because that kid, Zach, used TikTok. I didn't know anything about TikTok. I didn't even have a TikTok account when I saw him. Well, actually, I did. I didn't know that I did. So I started another account. But anyway, I digress. That tells you how good I was. Pick a platform, wherever you're most comfortable. And then pick a style. This guy, Matthew Hussey, he's a dating coach. I've been married 3 times. Obviously, I need a dating coach. Maybe I need a picker coach, but anyway, that's another story for another day. But anyway, Matthew Hussey gives dating advice, and I loved the way that he did this. I thought this was so cool. It looks like he's being interviewed. He's an automatic authority. He's like got a microphone. He's got in little ear things. I'm like, I could do that. I'd look totally cool. I'd look like an authority in real estate. So that was kind of how I thought it would look. Now, when I started, it didn't occur to me that he was looking off camera. I thought I would look at the camera. I'm gonna look straight at the camera, I'm gonna give my message. And I messed up. It was terrible. It was horrible. Couldn't even use the videos. It was so bad. In fact, it was so bad that Denver said, look at the empty chair. Don't look at the camera, look at the empty chair. And I'm like, okay. Well, then I would turn around and look at Denver and say, is that good? And he'd say, no, just keep looking at the chair. And I say, okay, is that good? He's like, okay, that's not gonna work. So then he put Sam in the chair. Now, there's a girl, Tiffany, in Toronto, and she puts Teddy, the teddy bear, in a chair because she does the videos from her phone by herself at her house. So she puts Teddy, the teddy bear, and Tiffany from Toronto does her videos from her phone. You don't need a Denver. Denver's my video guy. Anyway, so Denver puts Sam in the chair. He's the lighting guy. He goes, just tell Sam the story. I talk to Sam and I tell him the story. And what happened was magic. Because then the audience thought, wait a minute, she's talking to her best friend. She's talking to her best client. She's talking to her therapist, obviously, with that story. And they couldn't look away. It was like being a fly on the wall of a conversation. And that is what I want to stress to you. That's what I want to get across to you. Now, we're going to start a new series. You knew that I was going to do that. Thank you. We're going to start a new series, and it's actually going to be AI. So we're going to go through and whatever questions people ask me. If I don't have enough questions that people ask me, then we're going to go to Google. What are the top 15 most asked questions about real estate in Atlanta, Georgia? We're going to put through an AI voice. I'm going to put on my headphones like I'm Fraser Crane. For those of you in the room that are of my age, you know who that is. So I'm going to be like Fraser Crane, and I'm going to be like, well, Bobby and Susie, let me tell you the answer to that. And that's our new series it's going to be. And y'all, nobody knows that Bobby and Susie are really not on the other line because it's just a video of me. But don't tell, because I don't want the audience to know. I probably shouldn't have told this story on a live stream with hundreds of people. But anyway, it's too late now. Okay, so be yourself. Obviously, does anybody in here post on social media? Raise your hand if you post. Okay, all right. Do you feel like that you have to post the highlight reel of your life? Is that what you feel? Or are you just posting the ugly pictures too? Most everybody feels like it's supposed to be perfect. And the photos, the videos, when I wasn't perfect, when I was whacked out about the inspector, when I was worked up about the inspection, when I was worked up about the other agent, those are what people bid into. Not me and my stilettos in the septic field, because that shit never happens. That was kind of funny. But anyway, so that never happens. And so that's the thing is be yourself. Thank you. I love this. Maybe that's the sign like that. Okay. Be the voice of your community. So I live in Cobb County. 46% of the people in Cobb County are over 62 years old because there's a senior exemption on your taxes. The primary bedroom on the main floor is very, very valuable in Cobb County. Google doesn't know that. You know that. How you convey that information is your story. Post consistently. I started posting twice a week. It's not you have to post every day. Just post consistently, Tuesday and Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just pick it and post in the morning. Because if you don't do it in the morning, you won't do it. I can already tell you. Even today, I haven't posted today. The mere fact that that video is not going to get posted till this afternoon is eating me up inside. If I'd just done it this morning, instead of worrying about the bug at the rental house, then it would have already been done. And I could have even done a video about the bug at the rental house, because that's the real life. It's almost like my wand. I need my Glennda wand. Anyway, okay. Engage with the audience. So when they're talking to you, conversion happens in conversation, and conversation happens in the comments. When they're talking to you, I want you to be talking back to them. And take note of what they respond to and do more of that. So if your audience gets excited about the inspection video, do more of that. And I would say behind the scenes inspection videos are probably the most engaged videos, because nobody knows what's supposed to happen at an inspection. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So, you know, not very many people in here know me, but Michelle knows me. And would you say I have a brand? Would you say I have a brand? Yeah. Yeah. What is my brand? Have we ever met before? No. You didn't think a thing about messaging me, did you? Because you feel like you know me. You came up to me, your mom came up to me, and y'all are like, I know her. She's a friend of mine. I know. But in your head, you think you do. It's the truth. She's never met me. Never ever met me in her life. Mother's never met me. Comes up, hugs me, takes a picture. Let me ask you a question. If you had anybody who was going to buy a house in Atlanta, Georgia, do you think of any other real estate agent? Wouldn't even think about it. She wouldn't even think about it. I had a referral from an agent that is with the agency in Scottsdale. She says in front of the owner of the agency, Mauricio Umansky, I just sent Glennda a referral. And he looked at her and he goes, we have an agency in Atlanta. And she goes, I don't know the people at the agency in Atlanta. I know Glennda. She's never met me before. You think that I don't have a brand? I have a brand. Trust me on that. See, maybe I could just look at it and it would automatically turn on. There it is. Okay, so I have about 2.5 million views a week, 4,000 likes a day, 200,000 comments a month, and 35,000, that's actually 35,000 shares. It may be a month, that may be right, 35,000 shares a month. I'm not telling you that to impress you. What I want you to see is the reach. And you're thinking, so what? It doesn't matter. 2.5 million people aren't buying houses from her. You're right. Let me put into perspective for you. The average television show has 800,000 to 900,000 viewers. I have 2.5 million a week on my videos. 75,000 people on average go to a Taylor Swift concert. More people than that will see my video today. You have no idea who is watching you. I didn't know that Jeff knew anything about my stars. I had no clue. I didn't know that the pole barn people over here knew me. No clue. Had no idea. You don't know who is watching you until they take action. They call you and say, I want to sell my house, I want to list my house. Maybe that you think it was a sign or a postcard, and maybe they've been watching your videos for many, many months. That's what I want you to understand is the video builds your reputation, builds your brand. I'm not going to push the button. There we go. Now, has anybody seen this video? Okay, so this is a big video. It has 10.4 million views on this one particular time that I posted it. TikTok says that it has almost 200 million views. And this video is about a mistake that I made in real estate. I don't know if the video is here, but I'm going to push the button and we'll see.
So once upon a time, I sold a big ass house, and I made $137,000 in commission on that one house. And rather than taking that money and investing it in real estate, I went and bought a brand new estate. I went on a shopping spree, and I pissed that money away. Instead of buying a townhouse on Lynch Road, it was right in the middle of foreclosure season. I could have bought that townhouse for $100,000. That townhouse today, that in 1995 was $100,000, is $1 million. That Mercedes is worth zero, and those clothes don't fit. This is a cautionary tale.
So I posted that video. It wasn't a video about I listed 123 Banana Street. I sold it in 4 hours. I got 40 offers and it went 400,000 over the list price. It was a mistake that I made. I wasn't afraid to be human. I wasn't afraid to be vulnerable and not post to be perfect. That is what I want you to post. What was your biggest mistake? What was your biggest victory personally in real estate? Sorry. I think about, people ask me all the time, they're like, what was your most memorable moment in real estate? There have been a lot. The time the guy flashed me, purposefully coming out of the master bedroom. The time that I sold the wrong house. I mean, I remember when I posted that video, every broker in Atlanta called me and said, you need to take that shit down. And I thought about it and they're like, it makes you look stupid. Nobody wants to work with the real estate agent that sold the wrong house. Let's think about Zachary. Zachary is 53 days from TikTok to closing. Zachary, let me ask you a question. What was it that triggered your phone call to me? I saw your video where you sold the wrong house. That told me that you weren't perfect. I also saw your video where you told the guy to price his house at $1,350,000 and he threw you out and he went with another agent and he ended up taking a lot less. He goes, I knew if I wanted to sell my house for the most money that you would be honest with me, tell me the truth and get me that price. 2 videos where I failed miserably. I mean, literally, I asked the guy, how much do you think your house is worth? How many listing appointments have you been on and the seller doesn't know how much their house is worth? Give me a break. What do you think your house is worth? Oh, I have no idea. Really? You're a vice president at Home Depot and you have no idea how much your house is worth? Nope, no idea whatsoever. Your house is worth $1,350,000. Really? I think my house is worth $1,650,000. We don't need to continue any discussion. I said, oh, so it was a trick. He said, I wanted to see what you would say. I said, you wanted to see if I would agree with you. And unfortunately, you are wrong. He didn't like that. He threw me out. He listed his house with some guy, any guy who would take it for $1,650,000. That shit sat on the market for 4 months in the height of the spring market last year. It ended up selling for $1,202,000. Every time I think about that man, I laugh my ass off. And the reason that I do is because here is somebody who is the vice president of a Fortune 500 company who gets paid very well to do a great job. And yet you aren't going to listen to somebody who sold 114 houses last year. I knew right there that wasn't my person. That guy was going to be a difficult person to work with every day, all day. So posting those failures, posting those, they make you look real. And that video got me Zachary $680,000, 53 days from TikTok to closing, $18,000. Praise the Lord and pass the money. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm almost afraid to push the button again. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's talk a little bit about video. But before we do that, okay, so let me just tell you guys, I'm going to tell y'all the honest truth. So Sarah says to me, well, you know, this is a CE class. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's weird. I don't remember this being a CE class. She goes, oh, yeah, y'all, this is my first ever certified CE class. I'm happy as a damn pig in a puddle. I'm going to be posting that all over my social media. So y'all take a great picture of me. But anyway, so she says it's a CE class. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the world did she get it CE credited for 50 minutes? Like, that doesn't work. That's not going to work. And then I get here last night and she says to me, oh, it's really 100 minutes. I'm like, oh, my stars and stripes. I really thought that it was 50 minutes. She goes, oh, it's 50 plus 50. And I'm like, yeah, I can add. She goes, oh, it's just Q&A. You know, they're going to have some Q&A. And I was like, holy shit, I hope they have a lot of Q&A. And you guys have been relatively quiet. But before I go on to like the little next segment of questions, please have a question. I should have put a plant in the audience. If you don't have a question, ask me this question. I think I did. Look, Todd's going to come up and ask a question.
There was a question that it was probably inappropriate, but I was going to ask it, and now I can't remember what it was.
So if you have a question, ask a question. If you don't, it's no problem. I've got plenty of slides, obviously. But what I want to understand is, like, what are you struggling with? Why would you not shoot a video? Why would you, what video would you shoot, and what's stopping you?
Well, I'm shooting video and I don't like a darn thing about what I see on the camera, but that doesn't matter. This is just like a Glennda fan club request. Can you tell the story about how you were in real estate since Jesus was a baby, and you sold the wrong house? It's just such a funny one. Everybody needs to hear it.
Y'all, I'm telling you, she knows all about the selling the wrong house. Like, how do people know about that? It's just, and because that video doesn't have a ton of views. So I was early in real estate, very early in real estate. Like, let's call it 1992, 1994, 2 years in real estate. So I get this big fish. I'm excited. He wants to go see 5 houses on Saturday. Now, back in the olden days, for those of you who've been in business 3 years, you have no idea about waiting till Saturday to go look at a house. But anyway, back in the olden days, we'd wait till Saturday. You'd actually put the people in your car, yes, and drive them around. So I go get the guy driving around, show him 5 houses, show him 2 houses on West Paces Ferry. Show him 3 other houses, finish the day. I want to make an offer on the West Paces Ferry house. No problem. I can do that. I'm so excited. Go back to the office. There's this thing, it's called a typewriter. You actually used to have to type the offer or handwrite it. I know you guys are dying. So I type up the offer. I will never forget this as long as I live. He signs the offer. I send it over, negotiate it out. The guy doesn't do an inspection. He's not going to live in the house. He's going to tear it down. He doesn't do an appraisal. He's paying cash. So Sunday, we're going to close on Monday. Sunday rolls around. He goes, Glennda, there's people living in the house. I'm like, there's somebody living in the house. There wasn't anybody living in it when I showed it to him. It was an estate. I said, there's somebody living in the house. He goes, Glennda, there's somebody living. I drove by, there's a car in the driveway, there's people living in the house. I'm like, well, let me call the agent. So I call the agent. Hey, Patty, it's Glennda. You know, I just want to confirm. Nobody's living in the house, right? No, nobody's living in the house. Well, my client said he drove by and there was a car in the driveway. Oh, it was probably my assistant. She was getting all the stuff. No problem whatsoever. Okay, go to closing. Back in the olden days, you'd drive them to closing. He gets in the car with me, go to closing, sign all the documents, close on the house. He's all excited. He's going to show me what he's going to do. Go up Habersham, get to West Paces Ferry. I get in the right-hand lane. He goes, Glenda, the house is to the left. I said, the house is to the right. Glenda, the house is to the left. I said, okay. I get in the left lane. I turn left. And in the horizon, I see the Buckhead Broker sign. And my heart stops. And we drive by. He says, see, there's somebody living in the house. I flip that car around. I'm like, that house? What are you talking about? Next to the History Center? That tiny little house in that tiny little lot? What are you talking about? I flip that car around. I'm driving. I hop out of that car. This is the house you bought. And the guy is sitting on a knee wall in front of the house. And I can tell you what he had on. He takes his head and he puts it in his hands. And he goes, you sold me the wrong house. And he looks up. And I said, the wrong house? What are you talking about? This is an acre on West Paces Ferry. Look, you can do the courtyard here. The swimming pool's going to be there. Think about the front. It's going to be amazing. And it's an acre in the best part of West Paces Ferry. Who wants to live over there by the History Center? That shit has got so much traffic. You don't want to live over there. This is perfect. He goes, I think I can make this work. And I'm like, did he really just say that? Because the only thing I'm thinking in my head is like, I think I go to real estate jail for this. Like, I think this is a problem. I don't think I can get out of this one. He goes, I think I can make this work. I'm like, of course you can make it work. This is like, I mean, honestly, we would have never gotten that house for this price. This is so amazing. So I get him, remember he's in the car with me. I get him back to his office. I pull out of the parking lot. I pull into the next parking lot. I am physically ill. And I am thinking to myself, I think I used a real estate life. Like that did not happen. Well, word hits the curb and the broker calls me and says, Glenda Baker, I want to know right now how you sold the wrong damn house. And it was Buddy Weston, and Buddy Weston must have been, I mean, when I was 30, he was 100. And so I said, well, Buddy, you taught me contract law. So if you're looking for the problem, it might have started with you. And I was just like, this did not happen. But there you go. That's the thing. It's like people related to that story. How many times have you had something go wrong with an inspection? How many times have you maybe sold the wrong house? I'm not the only person that sold the wrong house before, just so y'all know. Now, if y'all don't have any other questions, because y'all are so darn quiet. Oh, do we have another question, Todd?
Hello. So I've got one from Colorado that is saying, how long do we have to keep posting videos until we can expect some success?
You know what? You're looking for, I sent a postcard, somebody called me. This is not your grandma's real estate. This is real estate 2023. It is a layering effect. You went to the PTA meeting. You went to the country club. You went to your place of worship. They saw you there. Oh, that's right, you're in real estate. They saw your Facebook or your Instagram. She listed 123 Banana Street. Oh, she just went through this problem with an inspection. You sent a postcard on a just listed or a just sold. Then they saw your video. That is why the most important question is, what was it that triggered your phone call to me today? Because if you're saying, I'm going to post a video and I'm going to get a call, I've got bad news for you. That's not how it works. It is a layering effect. What video gives you the opportunity to do is to be your own Fox News, your own CNN, your own CNBC. It gives you the voice to get to people that you would never get to if you sent a postcard or you door knocked or something like that. It builds your credibility in the community and it builds your brand. And so it's not a direct response answer. So that's your answer.
I love it. I saw everybody write that one down.
Good. I
What
hope so.
triggered your call to me today?
Yeah.
One other one is from Kansas. They're asking, do you do traditional marketing, print, media, that kind of thing?
Yes. 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 Video is not a substitute for being in your community. Video is not a substitute for your direct mail campaign, your newsletters, your contribution to your community. Video is a layer of credibility. Video gives you the ability to curate the message. And that's why I'm so bullish on video. And 90% of the content consumed over the next 3 years will be video content. If you are not video first marketing, so you want the story of Bobby and Susie in front of 123 Banana Street in a social media post, in a video, in a postcard. And what I'd love for you to do is when Bobby and Susie close on 123 Banana Street, tell them that you'd love to have your photographer come over and take their first photos in their home once they get settled. And give them a 1-hour family photo shoot. And ask them, do you mind if I use your picture in my marketing? I would just love a quote or a testimonial from you about your experience working with me. When you do a good job for people, they want to tell people all about you. And get your photographer to get that picture in front of the door of 123 Banana Street, in front of the fireplace, in front of the stairs. We provide the backdrop, you create the memories. Do you realize how important we are in people's lives? That right there, though, will give you the photography. Send your videographer. Get a video of that person giving their testimony. That is so much more valuable than a 1-line Google review or 5 stars on Google, is if you can get that video and the Google review.
All right, is it me? Yeah. So we've got, let's see, this is in your neck of the woods. This is North Carolina.
Okay.
North Carolina wants to know, how often should we post videos and how do you know when it's okay to post a situation at a listing? Have you had any legal issues from posting stuff about an actual situation?
I have not had any issues of posting anything. Kind of. Let me take that back. I have had one issue. And admittedly, I might have been a little bit harsh. The agent cost me $8,000 and I was bitter. And I did a video and talked about how she cost me the $8,000. And she was not happy about that. And that did create a little bit of an issue. I did take the video down. And I don't know if you have I can't say that. I don't know if you have a guaranteed sold program here. In Atlanta, we have a guaranteed sold program, an agent that does a guaranteed sold. If I don't sell your home in X number of days, I'll buy it. And I made a video and I said, well, and I said something else. What the guaranteed sold program doesn't tell you is they'll buy your house for nothing. It's not really that they're going to buy it for market value. He had a little issue. But other than that, I have not had any other issues. So it has been when it was involved someone specifically. And even though I never said the guaranteed sold person's name, they think that their argument was that their name was synonymous with the words guaranteed sold. Somebody had an ego, but not me. But anyway, I digress. So, but don't talk about a listing badly. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. What you want to talk about is 123 Banana Street, whether it's your listing or somebody else's listing. You want permission from the listing agent. Number 2, you want to talk about, I can't wait to show this listing to my buyer because I know that they're gonna love the primary on the main floor. I know that this house is gonna be perfect for them because they have 2 dogs and this has a big yard. You want to talk about the positive things. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I know that sounds terrible coming from me because I love to talk shit and throw shade, but it really is the truth. And I'm trying to get better at it myself, to be honest. See, I'm just telling y'all, it's the truth. Okay. All right. So Glenda's got a video. How do you create a video? How do you get the audience included? How do you keep them involved? How do you convert fans and followers into closed sales? How to make how to make it stick. That's really critical. And then we're going to do a little ask me anything. So I'm just telling y'all right now, you're really going to mess up Sarah's program if you don't ask any questions. So let's keep going. Just so y'all know, a lot of people said a lot of really nice things about me. So believe it or not, like I do know what I'm talking about. And it's not about virality, it's about consistency. How often should you post? It doesn't matter to me how much you post, as long as you post consistently. If you're only going to post on Tuesday, I used to do, when I was single, I did Tinder tips on Tuesday. My niece in Nashville, she does Wine Wednesday, and she pairs a wine with the listing. I thought that was so cute, so clever. Her name is Paris Lovelady. Yes, that's her real name. And she's in Nashville, and I love that idea. So whatever you're going to post it consistently. So I also do a series called Posts from the Porsche. Eveline does tips from the Tesla on Tuesday. Elizabeth does news from the Nissan. I love to do the video in your car because it's really easy to stick your phone there, turn it on, do a live video, or do a post. How did I get to $500,000 in GCI from TikTok? That's how I did it, by posting a lot and by engaging in the comments. So, and it really made me mad that I had only done 551 videos in 665 days, because really, I should have done them every single day. Because if I made $782,000 last year from video, if I had posted every day, how much more would I have made? All right, so we talked about that. Let's talk about the numbers. How many views a day? How many seconds is it watched? How many people watch it multiple times? And how my audience has grown. Let's talk about that. The stickability is what you really want. So whether you have 100 followers or 100,000 followers, if they're not sticking and engaging, it doesn't matter. The average video is watched 9 seconds. I think that your best video time is about 46 to 53 seconds long. It's not too long, it's long enough. You try and get all of the information in. You're thinking, Glennda, that's not very long. It really is longer than you think. Trust me, after standing up here for 50 minutes, it's a long time. Especially because I think about it now, I do short form content. I'm like a short form speaker. 50 minutes is not short form. But anyway, so don't focus on how much, focus on the sticky. We talked about that, how many views a week, how to get there. Find your voice, who is your audience, focus on your style. What is going to be your style? Where are you going to post from? I have a friend in Austin and he posts from the bathtub. Now I know that you guys are thinking, that's kind of weird, but this guy is 6'7", and he posts Tub Tuesday. And it shows, and he's sitting in the bathtub, fully clothed. But did you ever realize how different size bathtubs are? I never realized that. But this guy's really interesting. And then he also is talking about doing Shower Saturday, because think about it, you're 6'7", the nozzle is probably like in the middle of his back or something. So do something that's different. Do something that's all you. Oh, where was I supposed to say? Knee high by the 4th of July. Somebody told me I was supposed to say that. They said, don't say that. The corn's much bigger now. But anyway, think about if you did all of your posts from like a cornfield. Like I would think that you're in Iowa and corn's a big thing. So I was thinking that would be a really good idea. We drove by a cornfield on the way here, and I was thinking I should get out and hide in the cornfield. And I was thinking that would be a great video for Iowa. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. Engage in your comments in their post. Stay on top of the DMs and send voice messages. When you send voice messages, they actually know it's you responding. So I think that that's really critical. Oh, so let's kind of see where it started, and you guys can kind of see the progression. Now, Mr. Audio Visual, are you ready? Because if I click it and all 3 videos start, you need to be prepared to stop the other 2, okay? All right. Professional real estate agent, not a professional slide maker.
A lot of times buyers come to me and they say, but Glennda, the Zestimate is, let me tell you, the Zestimate is not the holy grail of real estate. I get this question every single day, but the Zestimate is. Do not be confused by online target practice real estate. Even Zillow will tell you that their estimate is 8 to 13% off. And you're thinking, oh, what's 8%? On a $500,000 house, that's a $40,000 mistake. Can you really afford a $40,000 mistake when you're buying a home? Probably not.
Okay. Do you guys have Zillow here? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I didn't know because they're bigger in some markets than in others. And do you ever hear a buyer or a seller say, oh, but my Zestimate is? All of the time. Your ability to be the objection handler on that Zestimate is so critical. It's so funny. I was at a conference. Now I can't. Oh, I was at Tom Ferry. That's where I was. I was at a Tom Ferry conference in Dallas 2 weeks ago. And this guy does a ZMA. What? He takes the Zestimates from the listing that he sold and from 3 other houses around that house to show how far off the Zestimates are. Because you and I both know, like I know that Shannon's house next door to me is not nearly as nice as my house. And the fact that her Zestimate would be higher than mine makes my head spin around. It's not fly to my nose. So think about it. And when you can show, oh, let me show you what your Zestimate is. Let me show you how wrong they are. You're discrediting Zillow and you're giving them proof that you are credible. Okay. All right. Now, this is when we started. So this is October of 2020. Okay. This is when I thought I needed to be all buttoned up on LinkedIn. If you're interviewing a real estate agent to list your home, the most important question you can ask them is what is their average sales price compared to the market? Because if you're in a $700,000 neighborhood, you probably want an agent that is proficient in that price range. Hire an agent that sells predominantly $175,000 condos. When you have a $700,000 single family home, that's probably not in your best interest. My name is Glennda Baker. I'm a real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'd love the opportunity to talk real estate with you today. I don't think I've used the word proficient since I've made that video. So that is a great example of me trying to be something that I wasn't. Because in my head, those people on LinkedIn, they were all fancy. They were looking for the St. John wearing professional real estate agent. And that video flopped on LinkedIn, it flopped on TikTok, it flopped on Instagram. It didn't, and people were like, proficient. I don't know about that word. All right, and now let's get to current day. People say, Glennda, you do all this video, you put all this stuff out on TikTok. Are you really getting any business from it? Let's talk about Clayton. Clayton follows me on TikTok. He's like, you know what? I'm going to move to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to send her an email and see if she'll sell me a house. Email comes through, has his phone number. Hey, Clayton. Oh my God, it's Glennda Baker. Oh, Glennda. No lie. I'm like, hey, how's it going?
He's like, I can't believe you called me. I'm like, absolutely, I called you. You said you wanted to buy a house in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm calling you right now. Clayton Cole bought a house here in Atlanta, Georgia. They came straight from TikTok. So if you think this whole video thing is like a little game, oh, she's just trying to be a celebrity, you would be wrong. Because this is all about helping people realize the dream of homeownership, get the most money in the least amount of time for their home, and helping other agents level up their business.
So y'all, and Cole and Clayton bought a $700,000 house. In Atlanta, Georgia, that's $21,000. I think that you don't realize that it's not just buyers and sellers, but Clayton and Cole also had a house in Florida. I was able to refer them to an agent in Florida, and I made money off the house they sold there. So last year, and I can't remember if I told y'all this, I did 34 agent-to-agent referrals last year. You're like, oh, that's not very many. Well, out of 114 deals, 34 is a whole lot. All of those deals came from people seeing me online and me speaking. So I would say that if you are not looking at your agent community and making sure that everybody knows that you don't just sell in Iowa, but that you can help them find a house in Kansas or Colorado or Arizona, then you're missing the boat. You want them to know that you can help them sell a house wherever they are. There we go. All right. Okay. So what's the process? Oops, let me go back. Okay, pick a platform, frame out your attack, batch shoot your content. Okay, we haven't talked a lot about batch shooting. What is that? I shoot all of my videos in one day. I make money selling real estate. If I was doing video all day, every day, that's not me selling real estate. Let's get back to, I take 5 hours, 6 hours, I make 30 videos. So today, when I'm feeling a little bit fat and I don't feel like making a video, I've got a video in my drive that I can upload today that I can put on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, and it's all done. So batch shoot your content. If you don't like TikTok, don't post on TikTok. If you like Instagram, post on Instagram. What I really want you to do is I want you to post where you're most comfortable, where you'll actually post. If you're not going to post, I'm never going to post on TikTok. I don't need to listen to anything she has to say. Surely you're posting content somewhere. Is there anybody, I don't know if I want to ask that question. Raise your hand if you have a social media account. Okay, so the majority of everybody has a social media account. So do you watch video on social media when you consume content? Yes, no, maybe. Y'all are so quiet. You know, when I got here yesterday, I took an Uber from the airport to the hotel. John from Sudan was my Uber driver. And I was like, John, where are you originally from? He said, Sudan. He was in the army in Sudan. He lost his leg. Anyway, the church sponsored him and he came here to Iowa. I said, how'd you get to Iowa? Church sponsored me. I came here to Iowa. I said, do you like it here in Iowa? He goes, I love Iowa. It's the best state in the country. So why do you say that? He goes, if we broke down and we were on the side of the road, nobody would pass. Everybody would pull over and help me. And he said, that's why I love Iowa. And I was like, that's so cool. I didn't realize y'all were going to be so quiet. He didn't tell me that y'all were a quiet bunch. And let me just tell you about Chatty Chuck and Chatty Kathy behind me on the airplane. They talked the entire time. The lady next to me, Sweet Carol. Now it starts with an M, 50 minutes north of Des Moines, Martinville, Manorville, something like that. She lives up there. There's no restaurants. Carol's been married 50 years. Now, this is the conversation that I had with her on the airplane, and she was grouchy to start with. So Carol says to me, she goes, are you from Des Moines? I said, no, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. She goes, I'm from Des Moines, and I just want you to know everybody is not like those people. I was like, well, it's good to know. I'm glad I'm here. The lady next to me, Marietta, she's dedicating the mural for her father at the Civil Rights Center here in Des Moines today. And you're like, why is she telling us the stories? Well, Carol, she's been married 50 years. Her husband has dementia. She has a big, beautiful home. She says to me, I'm going to have to sell my house when I can no longer take care of my husband. People want to tell you their story. This is a perfect stranger on an airplane telling me that she's going to sell her house. And it must be some fancy house because she's got 5 bedrooms upstairs that nobody even uses anymore. And she can pay for full-time help to come in. And I thought to myself, she thinks I can help her. Sorry, she thinks I can help her. That's why she's telling me her story. I want people to tell you their story so that you can help them. And that's all about talking to people and listening. And you're like, she probably hadn't listened a day in her life because she's chatty herself. Just be more interested in people than you're trying to be interesting, and you will find out their story and they will be interested in yours. So Marita, who's dedicating her father's mural today, her mother still lives here in Des Moines. She's 90. She's going to be selling her house. I said, well, you know what? I've got a friend in Iowa. I can help you find a good real estate agent. She said, oh, give me your contact information. I said, you know, I'm a terrible real estate agent. I never, ever have a business card. Give me your cell phone number and I'm going to text you my contact. Oh, okay. Now, this lady doesn't know me from Adam's house cat. I could be Ted Bundy. She gave me, no lie, that woman gave me her cell phone number. I texted her my contact card. If I had given her my business card, I would have never been able to follow up with her. Now I have her contact information. I can program her in my phone. This is a bonus section, by the way. Has nothing to do with video. I can program her in my phone, which I've already done, where I met her, what was she doing, what was important to her. She has a 90-year-old mother in Des Moines, Iowa, and they're going to think about selling their house. Do you think I'm going to follow up with her all day, every day, and twice on Sunday? Right there, that is an opportunity to do real estate, not be a used car salesman. It's an opportunity to help somebody. Don't you think I got Carol's phone number? Carol even was going to give me a ride from the handyman. The handyman was picking her up from the airport. She said, honey, I could drive you to your hotel. And I'm like, oh, my stars, Carol. I said, you need to get home to your husband. Don't you even worry about me. But I was thinking to myself, here's my little driver from Sudan talking about y'all are so nice. And y'all be chatty. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so batch shoot your content. Shoot it all in one day. So when you don't feel like shooting, you've already got something, and post consistently. So it doesn't matter to me whether you post once a week, twice a week, or every day. The more you shoot, the better you're going to get, the more proficient you're going to get at making video. But you'll enjoy it more. You said that you make videos that you post on social media, but that you don't like it. Well, the more you do it, it's just like putting in the reps. I hate to do those sit-ups. I hate sit-ups worse than anything. But the more of I do, the easier they are. Same thing with video.
Y'all, we are at 500,000 followers. It's like December of 2021. And can you believe that in October of 2020, I had 122 followers? 122. Not 122,000, like 122 followers. Okay, so start now. Yeah. Okay, good. So the first question that people typically ask me about buying a home. Okay, so look directly at Sam. Sam, you are going to know so much about real estate today. I know, you're going to walk away here saying, oh my God, this one I shot with people police on the shit she did. That was solid. Okay, perfect. Guys are happy? You feel like it's good, going well so far? Tell me what you want to see in 2022? Tell me what you want, because I'm here for you.
I haven't seen that video in a while. And I remember when I started making those videos on TikTok, everybody laughed at me. They laughed at me and they said to me, "That is so stupid. You look ridiculous." People said that to me to my face. You can't even imagine what they said in the comments. That Grant Cardone, he really took a turn at me. And I look at that video and I hope you saw it. Like, y'all, I'm just a real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia. And doing those videos and posting them on social media, it changed my life. What you don't know about that video is I had separated from my husband. I was living in a rental house. And it was rough. And I was looking, you can see in that video, I was looking for someone's approval. And then when I took so much flack, I remember it hurt me to my core. But I thought, I'm not going to stop because I like doing them and I think that I'm going to reach people that are just like me. So I hope today that I have been able to inspire you to do video. I'm so flattered and I'm so honored that Sarah reached out to me and thought enough of me to bring me here. I'm so honored and flattered that y'all sat here and you paid so much attention, except for the man over here who fell asleep. I won't tell you who it was. I'm so honored and so flattered, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think that's all my slides, but let's just double check and make sure. Oh, this is the best one. I'm sorry, can I just tell you one more story? She said I have to talk for 100 minutes, so y'all aren't going anywhere.
You have plenty of time and we've got some questions too.
Okay, good. So no lie, cross my heart, no lie. I'm in the Sky Club on Monday, coming back from New York, and this girl walks up to me, she goes, "Are you Glennda Baker?" I said, "I am Glennda Baker." She goes, "My tennis team loves you." She goes, "I texted them and told them that you were here. Can I please have a photo?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So we take a photo in the Sky Club and I go about my business. She goes back. I get on my flight. I'm sitting in my seat. This lady, stars, Glennda Baker, Nancy. This lady, Nancy, sits down next to me. Y'all can tell I'm friendly on my flight. So Nancy sits down next to me. Her 2 daughters are over there. I'm talking to the flight attendant, blah, 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 blah. Lady turns around, she says, "You are so familiar to me. I know that I know you." She had a US Open bag that she put up in the overhead. I said, "Do you like tennis?" She goes, "We love tennis." I said, "Have you ever seen a video about ponytail girls?" She goes, "Oh my God, you're Glennda, the real estate agent." And I'm like, "I am." And she goes, "I love that video." And you guys, here it is for you. I love tennis. Obviously, I think I'm a beast. Okay, I mean, I play country club, Thursday, ladies tennis. We always play against the ponytails. That's the girls that are younger than us. And sometimes the girls are a little sassy. Especially when they start losing, they get sassy. On my side of the court, it's my call. And on their side of the court, it's their call. And this girl, she was making these terrible line calls. And so I start asking, "Oh, my stars and strikes. Are you sure that was out?" Yes, it's out. She calls the star out. I'm like, "Oh, goodness gracious. Are you sure?" "Yes, it's out." Then I hit the ball. And it's probably this much inside the line. She calls that shit out. I'm like, I'm gonna have to take issue with that one. I'm convinced that one was in. She goes, "It's my side of the court, it's my call." "Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No problem, Susie." Susie
Missy serves that ball up. She hits it back. That Ow! What are you talking about? It was in the middle of the court. I'm like, my side of the court, my call. Look out to me. About somebody's head spinning around and snot flying out of their nose. She could not play. She was so angry. She could not play. Needless to say, she lost. She was going to lose anyway. After the game, she comes up and she gets in my face. We're at this fancy country club, and this lady is in my face like we are at some bar having some redneck brawl. That was so wrong. I'm like, look, you started it. You made the rules of engagement. I just followed them. And let me assure you, you didn't lose on that one line call. Karma's a bitch and so am I.
That video, y'all, I am a legend at the country club. I mean, it is so funny. That video started circulating and no lie. And you guys are like, okay, so surely that hadn't ever helped her with her real estate. Well, you know, Nancy, who was sitting next to me, lives in the River Club. That's a $3 million house. Praise the Lord and pass the money on that one. She thinks I'm a legend. But I'm at Piedmont Driving Club. Y'all, that's the high rent district in Atlanta. And this girl goes, oh my God. She goes, I love your video. She goes, you're the real estate agent. I am the real estate agent. She goes, my husband and I are thinking about putting our house on the market. I'd love to talk to you. This is on the tennis court in a tennis skirt. Be yourself. Attract your tribe. Don't go trying to force yourself on other people, because when you put yourself out there, the right people will come to you. All right. Yeah, that's the end. So yeah, so you can find me anywhere. So I did a little podcast the other day, and the guy was a little sassy with me. And he goes, well, you know, Glennda, if people would like to find you, how do they find you? And I said, oh, just Google Glennda. And he laughed like I was joking. And he goes, what? I said, just Google Glennda. You don't even need to put in my last name. And he, sure enough, Googles it right there, because he's going to show me up, obviously, after I'm a guest on his podcast. He annoyed me. Anyway, and he goes, oh my God. He goes, you've got like the first 10 pages of Google just by putting in your first name. I'm like, yeah, I trained Google that there's only one Glennda. So if you're looking for me, it's Glennda. My dad's name was Glenn. On the birth certificate, he was really nervous when he filled it out, so he just put his name and then duh. That's how it's Glennda, Glennda. So it's easy to find me, and find me wherever you're most comfortable. I'd love for you to send me a message if this touched you. If you took any pictures and I look amazing, post those. But if I don't, because I got a little bit sweaty up here and a little teary, just don't post the ones that look bad. But anyway, now I'm supposed to do questions. Okay.
May I go first, Glennda?
Well, wait, where are we?
Right here.
Oh, okay, yes. And then you'll come over here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I got a few questions from the team in Bozeman.
Okay.
And so question one
Yep.
was,
Yep.
how are you staying, in addition to your social presence,
Yeah.
how are you staying in front of your clients on a regular basis?
So I am out and about in my community. Like so here's where you work, here's where you live, here's where you spend the most time. So whether that's the school, your kid's school, the church, the country club, it's a triangle. Make a triangle and know every single house in that area. And I eat at the bar. So if somebody's sitting at the bar, so last night, no lie, we go to this fancy steakhouse and the bar is completely full. The people that sit at the bar, they want to talk. If they don't want to talk, they sat at a table by themselves. Okay, trust me on this one. I love to sit at the bar. Hey, Glennda, how's it going? Oh, living the dream, selling houses every day. Oh, you're in real estate? They didn't say, hey, Glennda. Hey, how are you doing? Living the dream, selling houses every day. Oh, you're in real estate? I am in real estate. Oh, how's the market? Oh, my stars and stripes. I've got people standing in line to buy houses. Please tell me you know somebody who wants to sell their house. You literally just started a real estate conversation like that. Be in your community. If you have kids in school, I have sold every person, I've sold every teacher a house. I've sold every person on the soccer team a house. I've sold everybody on the tennis team a house. I've sold everybody on the cheerleading team a house. If your kids are in sports, those things are money makers. Provide the bottled waters. Provide the snacks. Always give people food or water. What do people need besides oxygen, food, and water? Anytime you feed them, you are no longer a stranger. Once you give somebody food, your mother tells you, don't take food from a stranger. Once you give somebody food and they take it, you're no longer a stranger. So I stay in my community. I'm super active in my community. I walk, wave at everybody. I know every house in my community. So video is not all the whatever that saying is. It's not everything. Don't stop doing postcards. Don't stop being active in your community. You got to stay in front of people because it's a top of mind kind of business.
And then the follow-up question was, as far as client events go,
Okay.
how often or frequently are you doing those, if at all?
Every quarter. I love a client event like nobody's business. And I have all of the client events at my home. And you're like, oh, she's lost her mind. Listen to me. When someone crosses the threshold of your house, I didn't want to fall backwards. When someone crosses the threshold of your house, you are no longer a service provider. Nobody is coming inside of your house that is not your friend or family. Bringing them into your home is magic. Giving them amazing food and wonderful drinks is literally where you go from service provider to relationship. If you're not doing a client event every quarter, shame on you. You're missing an opportunity. And I also love 8 at 8. And it is a dinner of 8 people around a round table. You have a chef come in, not you, because you want to be focused on the people. You have it catered and have 8 people that have common interest. So Larry and Catherine, they've been to Italy. Vicky and Che, they want to go to Italy. That's a good group. Bring them together. They can talk about Italy and travel and retirement. They're the same age. Bring those people into your home because you're moving from service provider into relationship. It's very difficult not to do business with somebody who you're in relationship with, but it's very easy to fire a service provider.
Hello, Glennda. I'm Doug. I have 2 questions for you.
Okay, Doug?
You said, 1 year recently that you sold 114 homes.
Yes,
Is that the most recent year?
yes.
So tell me about your team. I mean, how many people on your team? What do they do? And then the second part of that is if you were to start over again with the team, how would you begin?
Oh, my stars and stripes. What a great question, Doug. Okay, so I have had a team for 23 years. I was one of the first agents in Atlanta to have a team, and I hired Elizabeth and Kelly when I got pregnant with Lucas, my son, who's 22. Elizabeth's been with me 23 years. She's still on the team. What would I do differently? I would have hired more people. I would have had a bigger team. Because now I'm kind of old and I don't like people as much. So it's much more difficult for me today to find people that I want to work with because I don't have the tolerance that I had 20 years ago to train them and really just like, I don't have the tolerance for excuses. And that just makes my head spin around, snot fly out of my nose, and I don't like stress. I like people, like, I am the Michael Jordan of real estate. Like, I am telling you how to do it to be successful. You not doing it pisses me off. It just does. Like, if Michael Jordan showed you how to shoot a layup, you need to watch him. He did a pretty good job being a basketball player. I'm a great real estate agent. So I think that what I would have done was I would have hired more people sooner because I had more tolerance when I was younger. My team it's an all-female team. It's me and 5 agents who work with me. And then I have 2 support staff that handle all of the paperwork, listing to contract. Listing to closing. Listing to contract, contract to closing is actually how it works. I disc test everybody. I do not hire anybody without the Tony Robbins disc test, period. I am an IC. Only 9% of the population is an IC. That's an expressive analytical. Make no mistake, I'm a D in times of conflict. The road is paved with dead squirrels that failed to make a decision. Don't be roadkill. I can make the decision for us. So I think that hiring by position, if you're looking for a buyer's agent, hiring somebody who's an IS or an SI is critical. If you hire somebody that has too much D, they're not going to stay with you for long because they're a born leader and they're not going to want to work with you. In that admin position, you've always got to have somebody that's high on the C. It's just the truth. And it's just kind of an anomaly that all of the people that work with me are women. I have had men on the team before, but all of the men who have ever worked with me have all had high D, and it just wasn't a good fit. And I think that you need to hire slow and fire quickly, because I don't let anybody get out of line. If you're not willing to do what I'm asking you to do, because I'm willing to do anything. If you're not willing to show the rental, because I showed the rental on Saturday, then if you're too big for your britches don't belong here. Just that simple. Did I answer your question?
Tell me what test you use.
Tony Robbins disc test. DISC, Tony Robbins. Google it, it'll pop up.
Yeah, that little rant deserves an applause.
Yeah.
I have got a question from Montana. Are you still making phone calls? Are making phone calls part of your prospecting journey?
All day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So I love the phone. I'm chatty. I love the phone, but believe it or not, it is really my preference to shoot a video. And the way I do it is when I'm in the neighborhood. So I'll give you a great example. Sissy, I sold her a house 20 years ago. She's going out of that thing feet first, but she knows everybody in town. Every time that I drive by her house, I shoot a video. And whether it is about the door that she painted red because her husband was in the Episcopal church, or the flower bed that she put by the mailbox that she talked about when she was going to buy that, when they were buying the house, or the pool that they added. I always talk about a great memory that I had with them. And I make all of my calls video calls. I either FaceTime them or I send them a video text.
Okay, sorry, me again. First of all, I want to thank you because when we heard you speak in Texas 2 years ago, that's when I started doing video, and I got a ton of, or not a ton, but I got several referrals from old college friends that I hadn't even thought of in 20 years. So thank you for that. You had mentioned one time, and one of the times I saw you add a hashtag on everything you do so you can find it. Can you kind of repeat that for everybody else?
I'm so glad you reminded me, because that is such a nugget. You need to hashtag your name. On every single post, I hashtag Glennda Baker. And the reason I do that is because I can see the cumulative number of views across every video. Okay. Now, when I started doing the hashtags, I did hashtag Glennda Baker, hashtag real estate, hashtag Atlanta real estate. And of course, some social media guru told me that was stupid. You're never going to show up in Atlanta real estate, Glennda. You're wasting a hashtag. Well, number one, I didn't have a ton of hashtags, and Atlanta real estate seemed logical to me. If you have TikTok, I challenge you. Look up Atlanta real estate hashtag. You can't go one screen without seeing me. So the hashtag your area real estate, Des Moines real estate, or Manorville or real estate, whatever it is, always put your name, hashtag your area where you sell. And then that way you can see the cumulative number of views. And when someone is searching Atlanta real estate, I'm the one who comes up the most because nobody does it consistently. Do it on every single video. I'm here. You got me locked in place. No, I'm good. I'm happy as a pig in a puddle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, next on you.
Hi, I'm Nikki. When you were talking about responding to people after you've posted online,
Where
Do you-
are you? I can't see you.
Right here.
Okay, got it.
sorry.
Okay.
Do you set aside time every day? How much time do you give yourself to respond to people? How do you choose who you respond to? I guess.
Okay, great question. So I respond first, so that wakes them up. Okay, so they sent me a DM or they posted a comment, and I respond to it immediately when I wake up. So I take 30 minutes in the morning as soon as I wake up, and I respond to DMs and comments. Okay. Now, probably the next question is, which comments do you respond to? I like to reward the people that are nice in the comments. The people that are mean in the comments, I pin that shit to the top and let the Glendda take care of them. It's just that simple. If somebody doesn't agree with me or somebody has something nasty to say, I always pin that comment to the top because although it's unlikely, it's possible I was wrong. And I want to see what my audience thinks. So I posted a video about millennials, about how they were indecisive. And that the reason that millennials weren't buying houses because they were indecisive. And you can talk about getting like some comments. The millennials came out in force and they said, it doesn't have anything to do with us being indecisive. It has to do with student loan debt. It has to do with the wages have not increased at the same rate as inflation. We'd love to buy a house. We just don't have any money. We're using every penny we have to live right now and pay rent. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to rethink that. So I did a video saying, you know what, those millennials might be right. So don't think that don't take the bad comments personally. I've had all kinds of mean, bad comments. Y'all, Grant Cardone jumped on me like you cannot believe, like publicly. Rachel Cruz jumped on me publicly. Like I have had some trolls. Both of them were wrong. And I told them. So don't be intimidated. Don't let the bad comment intimidate you, but don't reward it either. Love on the people who love on you and focus on that. And do it first thing in the morning before you post. I love that. Was it like a song?
I mean, no.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was an alarm, if it was like a notification, if you were like, I was thinking maybe it was like the witch is dead or something. I mean, I was a little bit worried. You know, we were. Oh, okay. All right. It's okay. It's no problem. I didn't mean to call you out. You weren't the one who was sleeping, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Yes.
Thank you. So rapid fire, number one, how do you avoid burnout?
Do you know what? I don't have burnout. I don't. I would do this for free. I love what I do. And anytime that I get myself out of whack, I got myself out of whack a couple weeks ago. I drive around and look at all of the houses that I've sold. I pick up the phone and call the people who loved working with me. And, but I mean, I literally, like in the morning, oh, there we are. It's okay. In the morning, I lay there, and right before I like open my eyes, I think to myself, it's real. Like, this is really your life. You can open your eyes and it's still all going to be here. And I just open my eyes and I'm so excited every single day that I get to do this, something that I love. So if you're suffering with burnout, you need to look at what you're grateful for, and then take a moment. Like, do you realize you help people with what is usually their largest single asset? You change people's lives. They live in the homes that you sell them. Don't take that for granted. You are an important part of their life. So that's how, anytime I get whacked out, I think about all the people I've helped.
Love it. This one was multiple ask here: California, Montana, and Colorado. Best call to action. Do you have a go-to play? Like, if I need to generate a lead today, what's my go-to call to action?
At what price are you a seller?
That's your call to action.
Not, you listed a house, you had a house open, you did it. Okay, so you went on the listing appointment for 123 Banana Street. After you went on that appointment, you should have blocked 30 minutes and you should have knocked 25 houses in those 30 minutes. Hey, my name's Glennda Baker. I'm a real estate agent. I was in the neighborhood talking to one of your neighbors about getting their home sold. And I just wanted to ask you, I know you're probably not interested in selling your house. Do you know anybody in the neighborhood that's thinking about selling? No, Glennda, I don't know anybody. Okay, thanks. I was wondering, because when I list the neighbor's house, probably 3 or 4 people aren't going to love that house. They're going to want something else in this neighborhood. So I was just wondering. But Doug, let me ask you a question. At what price are you a seller? Well, if I could get $700,000 for my house, I'd sell it. Oh, okay, so if you could get 700, you'd sell it. Yeah, okay, great, super. So if I don't sell 123 Banana Street, then I'm gonna list. Would it be okay if I brought them over here to your house if they're willing to pay $700,000? Your answer is sure. That right there. If you have zero business, you have no business, you literally pick a neighborhood and you go knock on the door, or you pick up the phone and call. If you don't want to knock on the door because you're afraid you're going to get shot, which some people are, pick up the phone and say, hey, I was in your neighborhood, Cottonwood Estates, today. I'm talking to somebody about getting their home sold. I was just wondering, at what price are you a seller? I'm going out here feet first. I wish you the best of luck. Can I give you my card? When you go out feet first, please put it in a prominent location so your children will find it. Yeah.
I do have one, and that is, they want to know what your skincare routine is.
Do you know what? It's stem cells. It's BioPeel. So I know people are like, seriously? Yeah, I got all kinds of potion on this face because I'm fighting aging like you cannot believe. But it's BioPeel. So thanks for asking. All right. Okay.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
Andrea, where are you? Oh,
Right here.
thanks. Okay, sorry.
Are most of your videos done professionally, or do you just do any on your phone yourself?
So I do all of my lives from my phone in my kitchen, typically, or in my car, posts from the Porsche. So keeping it real in the kitchen. I love an alliteration like nobody's business. But keeping it real from the kitchen or posts from the Porsche. So, and this is something I can tell you, is that both Instagram and TikTok are leaning heavily into homemade content rather than professionally done content. So while a lot of my stuff is professionally done, the reply videos and the homemade content is much more what they're leaning into now.